Well, hey there, soccer fans and Premier League fans. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this week on Between the Posts, where he's Matt and I'm Jason. We're here to break down the Premier League games, all 10 of them, like we do every single week. Matt, only 3 more weeks of getting to hang out with you and previewing games this season.
I know that sucks. The matches are coming thick and fast. It's the business end of the competition, isn't it? I mean, with a lot of other kind of competitions going on around as well. You've got West Ham getting ready to kick off here in about 30 minutes or so, and you Manchester United, you still have an FA Cup final, things of that nature. But yeah, it's been coming thick and fast, and
Love
it's
it.
really shown like who's in good form right now and who's not.
Yeah, I absolutely love to see it. Matt, we're obviously going to break down these games, but I just wanted to ask you overall. We've got Leicester and Leeds, obviously, in the drop zone with Southampton. Leicester's remaining three is Liverpool, Newcastle, West Ham. And then for Leeds, their remaining three are West Ham, Tottenham, and Newcastle. Feels like Leicester and Leeds are going to go down. Do you see them getting anything out of those six respective fixtures, or I can't see them? I see Leicester and Leeds going down with Southampton. What about you?
I totally agree with you. I think last week when we were on the show, I mean, so many matches have happened basically since we were last on. But Leicester were, they were favorites to stay up. They were like plus 175 to get relegated at that moment in time. And yeah, they've had a couple of results go sideways on them. You can't allow Everton to get back into that match, and then
Mm-hmm.
Everton shows sign of life against Brighton and Hove on the road. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I look
Um,
forward to talking about that one.
yeah, we talked about last. I mean, Leeds at minus 200 last week were kind of a slam to get relegated. I think that they are definitely going down. I just don't see any hope for them. I don't really see any hope for Leicester either. So I totally am in agreement with you. I think that it's Southampton, Leeds finish 19th, and Leicester finish 18th.
All right, well, let's jump on into it then. And match week number 36 is what we've got on our hands right now. We've got the first match taking on Leeds and taking on Newcastle. So we see Leeds, and you immediately want to gravitate towards an over. So then when you want to start to go look up the stats even suggest an over. Leeds has hit over 2.5 in 83% of their last six matches. And Newcastle also comes along for 83% of hitting over 2.5 in their last six matches. But it's priced. It's priced at like minus 170 for over 2.5, which puts me off. So then I get back to how's another way to kind of get into this match. Newcastle money line is about minus 145. I certainly like that. I can't imagine Newcastle tripping up here. We've talked about how we think Leeds is going to be one of the three teams that gets relegated. Newcastle, love what they're doing, obviously. So then I think maybe a Newcastle with an over 1.5, and that basically gets me at even money. This would be a match where if I like Newcastle money line, I think I do go ahead and throw on over 1.5, because whether Newcastle covers that on their own with Leeds being so leaky, or it gets into this both teams to score an over 2.5, and in that scenario, I think Leeds would be the team that would come out with the 3 points. So I like an over. I like Newcastle here. What about you, Matt?
I like everything you just said. I mean, it's trying to find out what's the best one. I mean, all of the trends point to overs here. The form points to Newcastle clearly, but Newcastle, over the last few weeks, and you see that they've conceded at least one goal in their last eight on the road. So, I mean, Leeds will get up for this one too. The best play probably is both teams to score in an over 2.5. Um, Gonna just kind of need to shop around. I think that would be where I would like to head here, but I also think that like going both teams to score and Newcastle to win, or Newcastle and over 1.5, like you mentioned, I think this could be a double dip kind of angle here, because I think that both of them make total sense. And I just, I'm looking at the injury table. Liam Cooper looks like he's going to miss here. That's one of their center halves for Leeds. I mean, that's a problem. Um,
Do we know, Matt, what we're going to get from Leeds? Obviously, only one game under Sam Allardyce, and it was played against Man City, so we're not going to read much into that at all. Like we know Leeds is great for an over. We know how they kind of like to get up and down the field. I just don't know what I'm going to quite get for Sam Allardyce. But again, if you look at the remaining fixtures, it's Tottenham, West Ham, Newcastle. none of those are cakewalks, and you just got to go for it at some point. You're already going to be relegated if you don't go for it because of where you sit in 19th place. I like Leeds to score. I do not disagree with you whatsoever. Just don't fully know what we're going to get with the Sam Allardyce-led Leeds team, I guess.
That's the only cause for any like reserve here is just what is Big Sam's kind of what does he want to do here? Because I think that his goal will try to be to lock up shop and keep games tighter, but I just don't think it's possible with this Leeds team. I don't, because I think if they sit back, they'll get crushed. Newcastle will crush this team, and I don't know. I just think that Newcastle still like I don't even care about Big Sam really in this. I don't think that this team is repairable, and I think that they're in big trouble here. I think that Newcastle grabs the 3 points. This is a 2-1, 3-1 to Newcastle in my mind.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards the both teams to score an over 2.5. In Leeds' last 6, clean sheet, 0% of their matches. They've also failed to score 0% of their matches, so that loves an over 2.5 in both teams to score. And Newcastle have failed to keep clean sheets in all of their last 6 games, as you kind of alluded to. There's kind of struggles on the road of conceding, so that one probably is more likely. Newcastle probably gets a 3 points, but probably just stick to a goals in that one, so I like it, Matt. All right, what about Aston Villa and Tottenham? This is one where you start digging into the stats and you got conflicting information. Villa has been a nice little unders here, 2 straight 2-1-0 losses. Sorry, 2-1-0 losses, but Tottenham's always good for an over. This one doesn't line up for me in terms of the stats being in agreement, so I'll likely lay off. I do like Villa here at home at Villa Park. It's not hard to fade Tottenham and what they're doing these days, so like Villa at home. Not too confident to bet it, though. What about you, Matt?
I like Villa. I don't know if I'll end up pulling the trigger on it, but I mean, I really like Villa draw no bet at -140, but you're just getting it's always hard like when you're getting like a mid-table side in an Aston Villa and you're going up still against a big 6 club and Spurs and Villa now are priced as favorites when generally they would be slight dogs here. But I think that the market is correct. I think that Villa should be the favorites. I think that Villa are a better team. I think that Villa have the better manager. I think that, they're at home. I think that all of the signs point to Villa here. I would be shocked if Villa gets beat. But I don't know if I just want to lay the -140 to -150 on the draw no bet angle. Villa could win both home and away here. I mean, they won the away fixture here, 2-0. That would be the first time in a while probably they would beat Tottenham home and away. Spurs suck on the road. They've only won. I mean, look at this. They've only won 1 time in their last 9 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me think that Villa draw no bet is very safe. They allow every single time that they've been on the road in their last 8 matches, they've conceded 1 or more. That makes me think like that means they would need to score at least 2 or 3 to grab all 3 points here. And look at Villa keeping clean sheets, 5 straight clean sheets at home, undefeated in 10 of 12, won all of their last 5 at home. This is becoming a place that they really like to play. This is Villa. I mean, the more that this is why I love doing this show with you too, Jason, just to be able to talk through things. This is a Villa -1/4. Villa -1/4. You can get Villa -1/4 at probably -110 here. -105, maybe even plus. You probably find a plus 100 on an Aston Villa -1/4 of a goal head start here. I think they win the game.
Yeah, I think they win the game. I maybe do that draw no bet at around -140 that you kind of mentioned as well. But hard to see them getting beat here against Tottenham team that's just in full on, just an absolute mess. Still haven't picked up their permanent manager. Haven't quite heard who they're going to pick up on a full-time basis. Also, Chelsea hasn't picked up a full-time manager. So looking for a couple of those dominoes to go ahead and fall with Ryan Mason in charge, obviously, for the remaining games right there. All right, let's move it over along now to Chelsea. They're taking on Nottingham, where Chelsea got back to winning ways, finally getting a 3-1 victory on the road against Bournemouth. And it's the fact that they did it against Bournemouth, which makes me think that I really have confidence to go ahead and back Chelsea team. Get 3 goals against a newbie here in the Premier League. And that's what Forrest is. in the Premier League. Obviously, they're making their return trip into the Premier League. They've just been so dreadful on the road. I mean, away table, we've talked about it, dead last. They've played 17 games this season in the Premier League. They have 8 goals. They're getting less than half a goal a game on the road. So while Chelsea may be struggling, you get that nice 3-1 win against a newbie in the Premier League, 3 goals away from Stamford Bridge. Now you're coming home to Stamford Bridge. I like Chelsea team total. I like Chelsea to win the game. I like Chelsea over 1.5. Nottingham, great win over Southampton. It's what they needed to do to get up out of the relegation. That was a little bit predictable. We cashed over 2.5 goals in that game. This one's going to be tough for Forest. I like Chelsea in this one. What about you?
I like the over 2.5 here. I hear you. Yeah, the 8 goals is a concern for Forest on the road. But I watched every single second of that last Forest match.
Yeah, it's good.
It was fun. It was hectic. It was everything you want towards the latter of the season. And I think that this is something else too, Jason, that we didn't kind of point out. But late season, the weather's getting better. It generally lends itself to more goals. And Chelsea getting their feet back a little bit last week. 3-0 on the road against Bournemouth. When Bournemouth was probably trying to keep that match tight. I don't think that Forest can keep the match tight. Okay, so I think that Chelsea probably score 3 on their own here, but then I also think that Forest could contribute, and so I think this is just a great over 2.5 spot. I think that Forest will do whatever to try to frustrate, but they can't. Forest have no way of sitting back. They suck. They're a bad team. Forest to be able to make it and stay in this league would be incredible. This team is definitely worse, in my opinion, than Leeds and Leicester, but they've been able to do their work at home. And my gosh, if they were able to stay up in this league, I think that would be what a dream that would be for Forest fans. They bought, how many players did they buy last summer? If they could just bring in a little bit more continuity to this side, I mean, they have talent on this team. So just really kind of surprised that this over 2.5 is here. Like, I thought that this would be maybe like a 2.75 kind of number. So yeah, just give me the over 2.5 flat. Get another crazy Forest match is what I expect.
I do believe Chelsea could contribute that all on their own. Boy, if they were only get 2 goals, you're a lot more confident in Forest scoring on the road than I am.
Well, I'm confident that they're feeling better. They scored 4 in their last match. I know that was at home, and they could easily get blanked here. But I do like they go forward. I was really impressed with. I mean, they just go. They go for it at least. And that's what I want with an over 2.5. They're going to have to go. Chelsea, if Chelsea score the first goal here, I mean, Forest aren't going to be sitting back here. They're going to make this a crazy match. I even like maybe some alts here, over 3, over 3.5. Like this one I think gets a little bit crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I was looking up here, and it's hard to take the head-to-head into account here just because Forest is not a Premier League team. But their last 5 trips to Stamford Bridge, they've been shut out in 4 of those last 5. Again, I mean, some of those date back to the early 2000s, which it gets into where I don't really think head-to-heads are meaningful, but we just talk about maybe the class and talent and the class between these 2 clubs, that maybe that's what that highlights. I don't know. All right. I feel like jumping on something in that game. Chelsea money line over 1.5, over 2.5 with you. That one's likely going to get my money. A game that's not going to get my money is the next one here between Crystal Palace taking on Bournemouth, 2 clubs that are generally safe. They're at 39 and 40 points. So Palace safe. Obviously, Bournemouth could get drawn back into it, but they'd have to get nothing out of their remaining 3 fixtures. Well, obviously, Leicester and Leeds would have to be perfect, so that's going to be pretty impossible. So this, to me, feels like a match that's got nothing on the line, and because of that, I have no idea how it's going to unfold. Stats really don't vibe, with this one either way, so I got nothing for Bournemouth or Crystal Palace here, Matt.
Nothing here. And this is just Well, I think that if you're betting this match, you're taking the home side. A team that's been decent ever since Hodgson took back his role, and I think that Palace probably get the 3 points, and we could be looking back at this one and like, gosh, this one was easy. Bournemouth still aren't very good, but yeah, just really kind of a bogey match. I don't want to get involved in.
I mean, the money line's a -115. I'm with you. Palace, should be getting the job done at home. Boy, they've been really good at home. Haven't lost in their last three. To your point, Hodges came in and did what he did. Got immediate results and lifted them right up out of the relegation, right into the comfort zone. So this one to me feels like also like Palace is better than Bournemouth, like they're a Premier League team. I believe the head-to-head even vied with that, if I recall. You got a Palace win, a draw, a Palace win, a Palace win, a Palace win. So, yeah, I mean, Palace should win this game here. At -115, I think you'd be well within your right to go ahead and play Palace on that money line at Selhurst Park, but not one that I'm interested in.
Maybe a little parlay we're kind of cooking up with some some fringe plays we don't love, like on a 1 unit basis, but like I think that Palace are very much worthy of a parlay. I think that
Villa.
Aston Villa in the no bet market would be worthy. I think that goals galore in Forest Chelsea is worthy. I think that there's goals on Leeds Newcastle. I think we're kind of cooking up something here that could be big.
Nice. I love that. Let's cook up a parlay by the end of this show. All right, here's a game where I'm interested. Manchester United taking on Wolves. This one takes me back to last week, Newcastle Arsenal, where you had head-to-head kind of said one story, but in-season form said another one. This one you get a matchup between in-season form and head-to-head. So I'm going to put my money in this one. What is that head trend? Well, the last six, under 2.5 is hitting in 67 and 83% of their respective matches. In the last six, both teams' a score is only hitting in 17 of their respective matches. 8 of the last 9 head-to-heads have seen under 2.5, with 7 of those 8 also cashing both teams a score no. United slipping after 2 straight losses are going to really look to make sure they get some amount of points just to relieve some of that pressure of Liverpool just bearing down on their necks. They only need 8 points from their remaining 4 fixtures, but coming off 2 straight losses, it feels like that's a tall task for United and Ten Hag right now. So look for the focus to be on the defensive end. At home here at Old Trafford. Wolves are just dreadful away. I mean, they've only scored 12 goals in 17 away games. I like both teams to score no, and I like under 2.5.
Yeah, I like the unders here. Just the trending of Manchester United right now. And it's something that we see really is when these top clubs, they lose their best center halves. Okay, so you lose Varane, you lose Martinez. We've seen it with I've seen it, with Van Dijk in the past, and some of these other guys is really they have to focus so much more on defending because their offense hurts from it more even sometimes than the defense because they can't go and all out attack because they feel like they're not protected enough at the back line. So yeah, look at United's last few games. I mean, the unders with Brighton, they were blanked against West Ham. Only a 1-goal match against Villa. They didn't score against Sevilla. Like this is an unders play. This is just this would be another parlay cooker for me. Like maybe like an under 3.5 here at -200. A nice little parlay cooker, but I really do like your flat under 2.5 or under 2.75 here. That's the only way that I can look.
I think I'm going to end up playing on both. The both teams will score no and under 2.5, but we'll see. All right, let's move it along here to Southampton taking on Fulham. This was one that was easy for me to handicap. On Monday, I played the over in Fulham match and got a first half cash. And on Monday, I played the over in Southampton Forest and got a first half cash. So, of course, when you go look up these stats, they're also going to like the over in this one. It's a very cheap price at -110. So I'm just betting the over in this one and going for the same angle as Monday night in both angles where you're getting clubs that are scoring and both conceding goals. Give me the over in Southampton Fulham.
Love it. Yeah, over 2.5, -110.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think this is like another nice one to kind of cook up into parlay action. I mean, I think that there's some good stuff here, or even round robin, just because maybe you don't go 100% on it, and you don't want you still want to be able to cash something on it. So yeah, I think that this is another one. Yeah, both of these teams are just trending as over squads. Fulham, nothing to play for. They're They're happily safe. They're looking free flowing again. Southampton know they're cooked. They're going for stuff, and it's nice. So, yeah, this is an over dream.
Over dream. I love it. I love it. We're having these over dreams. Boy, what about if you played the ladder on Monday? Was there like 7 goals in each game on Monday? Like, I didn't know Mondays was the day for goals in the Premier League. Somebody notify me, goddammit.
Yeah, only on bank holidays.
Unreal. Yeah, what a goal fest on Monday. I did hit the live over in Southampton, Forest, and then I also hit the over in Fulham, Leicester. Those were just I couldn't get away from it.
Yeah.
We were sitting there watching goal, 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 goal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what about Brentford taking on West Ham? Got this one in action here. Obviously, West Ham's in action today in their Europa Conference League against AZ. They're at home. They'll be traveling on the road here to Brentford. This one feels like now you could take advantage of West Ham and the Europa Conference and Brentford on a nice smash spot. West Ham's got nothing to worry about here in this league. They're comfortable, relatively speaking. I love Brentford here at home. Love them to get back on track. Love them to get back to their ways. I'm backing Brentford here. May have gotten shut out at Liverpool. Not going to happen here at home. Give me Brentford. Team total.
Yeah, I think, yeah, this would be like another one that I wouldn't bet like a unit on or anything, but I think that it's parlay worthy. Is just to fade the Conference League side. I think that all of their chips now are, and I heard it on the press conferences after, like Jared Bowen, all these guys, they want the trophy.
Yes.
They want a trophy. So now they're safe. I would expect to see some West Ham rotation. And yeah, I would like to be with the home side here late in the season. Brentford have nothing to worry about. They can go for whatever they feel like. Just try to be free flowing and have some fun, score some goals. Yeah, give me Brentford too.
I'm looking up to see what that price is, if what they're charging you. Let me look. Brentford money line plus money.
Yeah, plus money on a money line, and I like it.
And their team total is also at plus money, plus 10. Both of them are about plus 102. So yeah, they're getting goals here. They're absolutely going to get goals. I think to your point, West Ham's definitely rotating. I mean, they could get pulled down in a relegation, but it's not going to happen.
No.
They'll technically be safe after this weekend, but they're good.
Yep.
Brentford have been so great. Scored 52 goals. 32 of those goals have come at home. Yeah, I'm liking a Brentford team total over 1.5 at good plus money. I might end up locking that in. Okay, cool. All right, there's only a couple more games here on the schedule. Let's go ahead and jump on into the next one. Let's see what we've got here. We've got Everton taking on Manchester City. This was a game that this past weekend caught everybody off guard in that Everton-Brighton game. That's just a classic of, you know what you're going to get in Brighton, right? You're going to get this high up the pitch, pressing, and if Everton can turn you over and hit you swiftly on the counter, they're going to be deadly. And McNeil, Calvert-Lewin, and Decore were lightning fast trying to hit them on the counter every single time. Hell, there was even one time they didn't even want the ball so much. Pickford just gave it back to Brighton because they knew their game plan was to flip them over around half field and punish them on the counter. Excellent job by Everton. They're going to struggle to do that up against City, right? City's going to play you a little bit tighter. They're not going to let you hit them on the counter as well as what Brighton did. So it comes down to how long can this one stay maybe low scoring? And then if it gets an early goal by City, can then Everton maybe chip in and maybe help you get to an over? Or do you do a City team total? You mentioned West Ham rotating. We all don't really worry about when Manchester City rotates. Mahrez and Foden are going to come in. You know what I mean? All right, they're not really going to skip a beat. Alvarez is going to come in. I don't worry about the Real Madrid tie a couple days later, which they're going to play on Wednesday. Doesn't really concern me here in this match. It's fully focused on being Premier League champions. I haven't found a way into this game, though, yet, based on the odds. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, this one really got interesting. I mean, you see Everton now in some decent form here. But yeah, I think that the 5 goals, against Brighton, that was just, throw it out the window type of scenario that doesn't happen often. I would be looking towards, remember when we talked about this last week, like the Dyche first half unders?
It blew up last
give me
week.
under, that did blow up last week. But I think that this is one of those, look, Everton are going to try to dig something out here. This is a tough spot for City. I've watched this matchup multiple times where Everton have given City some trouble in the past. Give me under 1.25 in the first half at -135. Probably find a little bit better number like on Barstool or Canby too. Um, yeah, just I think that there's no more than one goal in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think it's tight. I think this match is going to be tight. I think it's going to be tough for City. I think that they will do a little bit of rotation here. And yes, they will have one eye on Real Madrid. And I think that the players care more about playing Real Madrid, honestly. And they still have like a little bit of room in the Premier League to like even like mess up a little bit. Like if they draw here, like they're still in the ascendancy to hoist the title. So I just think that this is going to be kind of low scoring and tight, like just a Dyche kind of classic Guardiola too. Like if Guardiola, like look, if Man City go up 1-0, like they're going to try to like set this thing up for to keep it low scoring. I like the under 3 a little bit too. That's where I would be looking under 1.25 first half or under 3 full game.
I wonder what that under even just like 2.5 is. Only because you've seen Guardiola, they don't really run it up late season when they get in the thick of these competitions. It's 1-0, 2-0 victories. You get under 2.5 at plus 135. Not bad.
Interesting. It appeals. It appeals
I'm
for sure.
wondering. I'm going to look up real quick, see if they've already got the ball possession up. Okay, they don't have ball possession. That usually comes on Friday, so we don't know what the ball possession spread is, but that's going to be around 75% or so. We'll see what that comes in at, but yeah, that could be another way in.
Yep.
Also, City first half corners. I took a stab at that this past weekend with Leeds and got a push. Leeds scraped out one corner to prevent me from getting the cash, but that could also be another one. City dominates the ball. Everton packs it in, keeps it low scoring. Perhaps another City -2 on the first half corners. Could be another good one into this one. So, all right, 2 more games here. Another one here on Sunday afternoon. Arsenal and Brighton. I was impressed with what Arsenal did last week going to St. James Park. A, keeping a clean sheet up against Newcastle. A, getting all three, or B, getting all 3 points. I thought for sure the points were going to be shared. That one felt like a 1-1 kind of some kind of game. Doesn't feel like much separation between those 2 clubs. And Arsenal very impressive, getting all the points. I think 2 first half goals got it done. Boy, this Brighton game. This one feels like goals, and this is another one when you look up the stats. This one feels like it's going to be goal. They're each hitting the over 2.5 at 83% in their last 6. There's a reason why the over 2.5 is super juicy, and they're giving you 3.5 at plus money. They're not really even offering you the 2.5 at least like bettable price. It's around -200. Feels like goals, Matt. And this one, what about you?
Yeah, I don't want to go towards either side. I like the over 3, yeah, -120. Something like that. I do agree with you. I saw the comments from De Gerby too. Like that wasn't our normal Brighton self. You will see the real Brighton at the Emirates this weekend. I know that Zinchenko is out, which I wish that Zinchenko was in. He's out for the rest of the season. He's an Over's dream because he can't defend really at left back, and he's so good at going forward. So Tierney will step back in, will give them a little bit more solidity, but really, this is one that I don't know. I don't have a strong feel on this match. I would only bet the overs, but I don't know if I'll get to the window on this one.
This is the one where I was a little conflicted last week on Arsenal Newcastle. Didn't bet it personally, bet it, but didn't give it out. So this one feels a little tricky. All right, Leicester and Liverpool, the only match going on Monday. Liverpool, see if they can stay hot and keep the pressure on Manchester United by keep collecting the 3 points each and every single time. Leicester, leaky as all hell. Boy, but they're still good for an over. And that's where you got to look at this one because Liverpool's obviously pushing to get those 3 points every single time. Leicester can't keep anybody out of goal. This one looks like an over 2.5. Not sure I would tackle on both teams to score because I can see Konate and Virgil van Dijk keeping a clean sheet in this one. So tacking on both teams to score make me a little bit nervous. What about you, Matt?
I think this is like pretty simple. I mean, we've been talking about this for about a month. They're in a good way right now. They get 8 days to prepare for this match, which is normally a good sign for like a Jurgen Klopp team. The more time that they get on the training ground, the better their performances will be. I don't see Leicester being able to stop this team right now. Liverpool and over 1.5, Liverpool and over 2.5. Liverpool win the match. Another nice, solid parlay piece. Liverpool win this game.
Liverpool win the game. Spoken like a true fan over there.
Don't forget either that Newcastle are still in this thing too, so they could get dragged out of the top 4 race as well. So
Oh, you mean in terms of Liverpool catching them? Yeah, that's
yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
that's certainly.
yeah.
I can do that.
Neither are safe. So United, Liverpool are nipping at both heels right now. They're trying to put together something, and Leicester, you're right, just too leaky right now, and I think that Liverpool will take advantage.
All right, let's look at this team total here for a second. Then let's reveal our official bets. See which ones we want to give away. I'm interested in Liverpool team total. What do you got for me? It's gonna be juicy. Gonna be juicy. 1.5 is 220. It's a great parlay piece. Love that. Looking for a parlay, are we? And there's a great one right there. All right, let's toss these bets up on the screen. Let's talk some NBC Sports Predictor, where they've renamed it no longer the Premier League Pick'em contest. It's just the Soccer Pick'em. That's what they're calling it now. All right, so let's throw some bets up on the screen. I'm also going to throw my NBC Sports Predictor bets up here, or my picks.
Okay.
Hey there, Canes Nation, my man. What's going on, my man? Let's throw some bets higher up on the screen.
I like those.
Hey, nice.
I like those.
All right, and this is how we're actually going to bet the weekend by putting units on it. I am interested in cooking up a parlay like Matt's mentioned, but I'm going to take that over 2.5 in Southampton Fulham. I'm going to take that over 2.5 in Chelsea and Nottingham. I'm going to take both teams to score no in Manchester United Wolves. I'm also going to dabble in under 2.5 goals in that game. I'm going to take Brentford team total over 1.5 and Newcastle money line, parlay that with over 1.5 at -109. Are you got any bets locked in, Matt?
Yeah, nothing locked in yet, but I can already tell you, like I've got a bunch of circles here, and I'm gonna DM you here after this to maybe like go through the parlay or the round robin, and
Yes.
maybe we can send something out on Twitter. I like goals in Leeds Newcastle. I like goals in Chelsea Forest. I like some home teams. I like Villa to get the job done against Spurs. I like Palace to beat Bournemouth. I like goals, and I think this is going to be a heavily bet card this week for me. I'm just going to just rock everything with one unit and see how it goes. Southampton, Fulham, goals. Everton City under. United Wolves unders. I think Brentford get the job done. I really like Liverpool in over 1.5.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. I think that they're all very valuable like bets. Like I think that they should all be hit. Just keep your units the same, and I think that you'll do just fine.
All right, love that optimism. Make sure you're giving Matt a follow there on Twitter. His information is down below his name. We'll come back next week for match week number 37. 2 more of these to go. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Enjoy the games this week, and good luck with your bets. Catch up with you guys next time.